Okay, so, well, this was first supposed to be just a review of this little Dirt Devil hand vac that we have, but that reminded me of something. There's a ton of vacuums that I have that you guys have never really seen, because either I don't use them, or I use something else over them, or I just never thought about them. So, we've got one of the old Eureka Super Brooms, with the 4 amps, that's noisy as hell. Oh, and has a torn up power cord. I was going to run this, but, yeah, no. That's not going to happen anymore. What I can tell you about that thing is that it is cheap and horrid and probably one of the worst vacuums I've ever seen. They're, compared to this Tempo, which would have been from around the same time range, they are substantially lighter, but the problem is, the reason why they are that light is because they use very cheap and very inferior plastics. It rattles, it feels like it's going to fall apart when you use it. It's horridly loud because this plastic is so thin and inferior compared to the Tempo. And it is just overall horrible. So that I'm obviously not going to test now that I noticed that cord. Some of these I don't even know if they still run because they haven't been used in so many years. That, I would bet, still does run. But the Tempo actually replaced that Super Broom. We got the Tempo at a garage sale, but it got used a lot for the hard floors over the Eureka, so the Eureka kind of got shoved to the closet and forgotten about for quite a few years. So the Tempo, I think you guys have seen the Tempo before. I just wasn't too sure, so I thought I'd throw it in here. So that's what it sounds like. It's got the flip between rugs and bare floors. It's got the attachments. Again, bagless. The filter is a pain in the ass to clean, but this thing does pick up very well, especially for an older stick vac. Here's a really old Bissell hand vac that we got at a garage sale years and years ago. It even had the box. We've still got the manual. This, I don't know if it runs, so we shall see. And it still runs. Has barely any suction, but I don't know whether or not the filter's clean. Here is a little Eureka. You guys might remember these from a few years ago. I think the name, for some reason, it has no name on it, but I think these were called like the Eureka Rally or something like that. Hand vac. It's got that little, if you guys have ever seen the riser visors on the power paws, so you can flip them up to do the backs of stairs. This is where that all started. This flips, so this way you can do floors with it, and you pull and you twist, and now you can do the backs of carpeted stairs. It's bagless. The bagless system, it actually, the filter is a pain to clean, but it picks up well. It's got a lot of power. It picks up pet hair well. The filter is a pain in the ass to clean still, but it, even when full, manages to maintain a decent amount of suction. This little Eureka multi-vac, you can remove this floor tool and just use it as a simple hand vac. It's got this extendable wand. Now this is another that hasn't been run in years. I have no idea if this runs either, so, and it does. Although it puts out a horridly unpleasant smell, which is one of the few things that I do remember about that vacuum. And finally, a blue 7 amp Hoover runabout. So basically, same thing under the skin as the Elite. This won't clean as well because, for one thing, I have no more A-type bags. This is a Y bag in here, which the collars are the same, so it works. The brush roll is the Elite's old worn all to hell one. I put a new one in the Elite, and that one went in this, because it was better conditioned than the old one, and this has the Elite's older belt, too, on it. I've got the hose, but just like the other Elite, I really don't have any of the attachments, the original ones for it. The only one I have for the Elite that's original is the dusting brush and the extension wand, and that's about it. This does run, but it's never been used in any tests. This outer bag really does show how much these outer bags play into the filtration with low filtration bags. This is just a generic crappy bag, Y bag in here. It blows out a lot of dust through these two little tears here in the bag. Whenever you suck up something big or heavy, the bearings and the brush roll are going bad because it's, again, the Elite's... Actually, it's the Elite's original brush roll. That had never been replaced. So that brush roll is as old as the original Elite, and the belt is probably at least 5 or 6 years old, probably more. And lastly, what this was actually meant to be about. Oh, and here, I have no idea why this ended up in the bottom of the Ultra box with a few other attachments, but this is a crevice tool that goes with this little Eureka multivac right here. But here's what the test was actually supposed to be about. So let me just plug this in. Now, this has been used mainly to clean our cars out. So, this is the Dirt Devil Ultra. This has the 2-speed motor and the little hose attachment along with the crevice tool. These are loud as hell. That is the one bad thing. But most hand vacs are, because they don't have any room for like insulation or anything like that. But here it is. Yep, that's about it. And you can, to use the hose, you flip this guard down. This guard really doesn't want to go down anymore, but yeah, you flip that guard down, it diverts the suction to the hose and tools, and so that's about it. That's everything you guys haven't seen that I still own, because there are quite a few things that I don't own anymore. There's also actually, there's a Whirlwind, a Eureka Whirlwind, which I don't know if I ever made a video on or not. I have a ton of videos on my channel. It might be on there, it might not, but I don't think it is. There's an older Whirlwind, one of the first Whirlwinds. That's at my grandparents' house. That's used for cleaning their basement. There is a Eureka Ultima that we use out in the garage for cleaning the garage. There's one of, it's not one of these Eureka stick vacs, it's the more square-bodied ones that, they came in like orange and yellow colors. Mine's in orange. There's also one of the little Eureka, the bosses out in my garage, and when I say little, I mean the ones that have the collapsible handles and the small dust cups, the ones that you can get, or used to be able to get as rechargeable models. And this will end in about a few seconds, so I'll continue this in a second part. So there is that little Eureka the Boss. And that's really about it. I had one Eureka canister that I got rid of at a garage sale that was really a kind of crappy canister. It didn't have good suction to begin with, which normally you at least get good suction on canisters, but it did not, and it didn't obviously work on carpets. It had no power head, but so yeah, that's basically everything you guys haven't seen.